All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the If You Roll It, They Will Come podcast with me, your host Spartan Kratos. And it's been a minute. There was a slight little break there from the episodes, but now we're getting back into the swing of things with what I think is going to be one of the better episodes. And this happened all the way back on my birthday, and back in the early beginnings of 2021. And how my birthday worked was, on my actual birthday, I just wanted to get high because I just came off like a 3-week tolerance break. So I was immediately breaking that. And then over the weekend, because I'm born in January, it was MLK weekend. So we didn't have classes on Monday, and we don't really have classes on Friday when my birthday was. So that's when I had my birthday. And then so on Sunday, me and Kenny are both born in the same month. He's a few weeks younger than me, so we both wanted to have like a big celebration birthday for kind of like the both of us. We didn't want to like have two separate parties, so we were like, okay, well, on that Sunday we don't have classes Monday, so we'll throw this on a Sunday and we can just have a party in our room and it'll count for both of our birthdays. We'll still do something for your birthday, and that's when we went to the zoo. A story a couple episodes back. That's what we were doing on this fine Sunday night. We were going to be throwing a big party with a lot of our friends. And I want to say there was maybe around 10 to 12 people that that showed up and stayed. And the big people are really me and Kenny. And then we had a lot of our friends. Jim was there for a little bit, and then him and his girlfriend ended up dipping not too far into the night. I don't fully know everyone that I should be giving names here. I will be giving it a name to one of my friends named Will. He had a pretty big night. He had a pretty fun night, I will say. And we'll get to that because this is the worst drinking game you can play. And there was, I want to say, around 12 of us, 10 to 12 of us, and there was a good amount of people in my room. And so this card game I was bought for Christmas. One of my family members, I can't remember who, I think it was my brother. He bought me this game. It's called Do or Drink. And, it's a pretty simple drinking game. It just has random cards, and then you kind of go in a circle, and then you draw a card, and then do what the card says. And there are different types of cards in this deck. And this is a game that will get you fucked up almost immediately, let me tell you. So I've pulled out a few cards here, and I'm just going to go ahead and read them here. I'll save the worst for last. So there's some categories cards. So this one is, the player who drew the card must pick a category, like types of ice cream. Going in a circle, everyone must say something that fits this category. Whoever fails first must drink. So, everyone already has drinks, and we each maybe had like 1 or 2 shots in us at this point. Not really anything. I was just drinking like mixed drinks. I had we could get orange juice down at the market down below of our dorm, so I would get orange juice, and then you add some Malibu into that, and it tastes like pineapple juice. Tastes pretty good, actually. That's a pretty good mixed drink, I would say. So that's one of the categories. There's a vote. On the count of 3, everyone points to the player they think can give the best toast right now. The player with the most votes must give a toast and drink. That's one of the votes. And then here are some of the more heavy drinking cards. Attempt to do and these are not the heavy drinking cards, but these are the choice cards that you get. Hence the name Do or Drink. So attempt to do the worm or drink twice. That's a pretty easy one, just attempt to do the worm. But then there are these red cards, and these bad boys are meant to get you absolutely fucked up because I'll read it. Take 3 shots or quit playing. That's all the card says. So you either quit the game, which if you do, you seem like a bitch, or you take 3 shots. So yeah, and where is this one card? There's this one card called Waterfall, and that I will get to in the story is the death of us. You can kind of guess by the name, but let me just get into this. So on this fine Sunday, we have a bunch of people over, and we each have our own thing. I will point out that Will is drinking Pink Whitney. We owed him some Pink Whitney, or Kenny owed him some Pink Whitney, I might say. So that's what he was drinking this night, and he was getting pretty lit off the Whitney, let me just say. I was mainly drinking some Malibu. I know we also had some New Amsterdam there, brought from one of our friends. I'm just going to call him K. One of our friends named Kay, he brought some New Amsterdam, so we did have some of that. We also had some Malibu, and I think Butters had maybe a 20 rack of something, maybe a 24. I don't know. He had some. I know Butters had some beer this night because let me tell you, he got. Oh, okay, I'll get into it. So The night starts out simple enough, we're all just hanging, chilling. We have in my dorm room, there was this big we bought this big white fold-out table that doubled as a just normal table where we could eat, but also as our pong table. So we have that, and we also, I would like to point out, have lights all around the table at this point, so it lights up and it looks pretty cool. We have LED lights around the table and around the room. It was a pretty nice touch. But we're just all kind of gathered up around the room, mainly circled around the table because that's where the card game is being played. A couple people are on some of the beds and not fully participating, but they're still there. Some people were just not drinking as heavily that night, but we understood. But most of the people that were there were drinking, because I know one of our friends, I'm not going to give him a name, because he just kind of popped in, said hello, saw what was happening, and left. He's a little Christian boy in our friend group, so he wasn't really a part of that, and he wasn't going to be a part of that this night. But let's get into it. So the game starts off normal enough. We're going through a couple rounds. We're getting pretty lit and drunk. But then a waterfall card gets pulled, and these cards are just not fun, because the waterfall card, what it says is the person who draws it must drink, then the person to your left must drink, and it goes on and on and on. You cannot stop drinking until the person to your right stops drinking. So the first time we got this, we were all end up drinking for like 30 seconds. Like, it was a long ass time. The person who did this did not want to end it. And I'd like to say I went through like 3 mixed drinks in this. I went through like 2 of the Malibu orange juices, and then I also made a Faderade. And then I made another Faderade, which is where the other Faderade comes from in that Faderade story. But let's get back into it. So, like, this is like pretty heavy. Like, when I was like, oh, okay, that's how we're doing it tonight. I know another mixed drink we were having was Capri Suns. We also buy Capri Suns, just cut them open, pour them into a red Solo cup, and mix some drinks and mix some alcohol in there. I know some people were drinking that, but so the first waterfall got us all pretty drunk, and we're all playing, having a good time. I know at one point I got a card that said like drink or dance to a random song or drink. So I ended up dancing to a song they all chose, and it was Your Hips Don't Lie by Shakira. If I have I think I have one of my friends has the video, so I'll throw it in there in the video right now.
Oh my god.
Wait, go to the Hips Don't Lie part, but it's not that long.
Oh baby, when you talk, you make the woman go mad. So be wise and be wise. Reading the signs of the bar.
That's over 30 seconds. Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I just got on Kenny's bed, and I let it rip. I had a good time. I was already feeling it by then. This was earlier in the game. I was already feeling it. By that waterfall, the first waterfall, I was already feeling I was feeling drunk. And then the night kept going on and on and on. So we ended up playing this game after the first waterfall for probably like another 30 minutes. Like, we all got absolutely obliterated. And we maybe started at 10. So we finished playing in 10:30. We maybe finished the game around like 12-ish maybe. That's when we kind of stopped playing, because that's when we started playing Pong. But back to the game, we're playing this, and then like another waterfall card gets drawn, and the same like thing happens where we're drinking for like 30 seconds. People are already getting really, like, everyone's already really drunk at this point. Like, and we're like, oh my, like, this is where people start tapping out. Kenny, I know, tapped out here because he was just fucked up. And what ended up happening with him is we were getting so fucked up that Kenny walked over to the sink, threw up in the sink, and no one reacted in the room. No one acted like anything happened. I know, I remember watching it, because where I'm sitting in front of the TV, so I kind of can see everyone in the room, because I'm kind of back up against the wall, because we have like next to the TV is where a lot of our dressers are, so I kind of can see everyone else, and I see him get up from his seat, walk over to the sink, and just puke. And like no one acknowledged it. I looked. I didn't say anything. Everyone else just like, I don't know if really anyone else looked. Some people might have, but no one really acknowledged it. It was really funny, because like he just came to kind of sat back down, and then that's when he tapped out. He was like, I'm done. Like, I'm throwing up. And then a third waterfall card gets drawn, and this one only lasts like 10 seconds, and then that's when everyone else is like, okay, we're fucking done with this game. We're all way too drunk. This is just getting worse and worse. The cards are like, the drawn cards are not getting fun. Like, I'm getting interested, so I'm drawing 3 more cards, and I'm gonna just see what would happen. Take a selfie and post it on Instagram with the caption, DM me to get freaky tonight, or finish your drink. I know one of them is like DM your mom or like text your mom and some shit. Like there are some really fucking funny ones in here. One of them was send someone a Venmo payment, like a 1 cent Venmo payment with like some weird ass text on it. Another one, post a photo of yourself pretending to drink from the toilet with hashtag so thirsty or finish your drink. And now here are some of the red ones. Open your front door and yell at the top of your lungs, I love anal. Do this, take 2 shots or quit playing. This is another red one. Oh, this is the bad one we were hoping no one got, and I don't think anyone got this. Take off 1 article of clothing every time someone drinks until you're down to your underwear. Stay like this for the rest of the game. Do this, take 2 shots, or quit playing. That one would have been a quick 2 shots from almost anyone, but yeah, that one never got drawn, and that would have been a pretty awkward moment for a lot of people there. But, so, after we're already pretty drunk off this game, that's when we decide to start playing some Pong. And, our Pong table, it's not just a white table. Well, we were filling this thing up with signatures, but we made a rule. To sign the table, you must win a game of Pong. And that made it really interesting. Because people, like, in the room, when we said we were going to switch over to Pong now that we were done playing Do or Drink, they were trying to, like, it gets pretty competitive because people want to sign the table, like, it's seen as an achievement. Sadly, the table ended up dying, but that's a story for another day. But so we're getting Pong set up, and this is where I'm gonna bring Will back into the story. Will's just been sipping on his Pink Whitney all night, and he's just laying out on my bed because I haven't been sitting on my bed. I've been sitting on my chair, and I don't care if people lay on my bed. Go ahead. Just, it's a dorm bed. It does not matter. So he's up there laying, and he starts speaking in Spanish, bro. And let me tell you, Will is from Tennessee. He is from Tennessee. So the fact that he is speaking in like fluent Spanish was making me laugh my ass off. When I noticed it, I could not stop laughing. And when I noticed it because he ended up calling his like friends back home and like joining their Discord and was speaking to them in like fluent Spanish because he was so drunk. It was so funny because now anytime we like want to drink with Will, we're like, oh, is Spanish Will gonna come out? Like it's our inside joke now because like he just was absolutely fucking obliterated. And I've never seen that from anyone. I've never seen that from like one of my friends before where they got so drunk they started speaking in a language that's nowhere near like it's not even something you hear on the daily. Like if you're in California, Arizona, we are maybe, but in Tennessee, bro, you're not hearing any Spanish. So that was just super funny that was happening. And then what made things get funnier was a little bit later at around like one of the other kids in our dorm just came, like they sent a text to one of us and they were like, oh, they're gonna come by, and we are like, okay, I'm just gonna call this kid N. So this kid named N brought like 2 or 3 of his friends, and they were in there. They were playing some Pong, and I remember I was just sitting at the table, and this is when I decided to start smoking because I had stopped drinking. So I was like, okay, I'll start ripping my pen a little bit. I'll get a little crossed here. That this is a mistake. You'll find out soon. So I'm just sitting there. I'm just smoking, and then this kid, one of N's friends, sitting next to me. We start chatting it up, getting to know each other a little bit. We switched pens. He was smoking. I was smoking too. So we switched pens, take a rip off each other's cards. We're just vibing. They were there for like maybe only 30 minutes. I know he ended up winning one of the Pong games this night because he did end up signing the table this night. It was kind of interesting to see him to see his name on the table because like he was a guy that was maybe the second time he had ever stepped foot in our dorm from since the first week of the school. So that was really funny that they just popped in, and then maybe like around 1:32, that's when a lot of people started dipping. Like Will, he ended up leaving around this time. I said bye to them. A lot of Kenny's friends, they all ended up leaving, and it was me, Kenny, Kay, and that was really it. That was like the final 3 people there. And then Kay, after like sitting and chilling talking for a little bit, he ended up going back to his dorm. And the moment, I'm not even joking, the moment he left the room, I went into the bathroom and just threw up immediately. But this wasn't one of those nights where I threw up and I ended up laying on the fucking ground because I was so sick. I was like, oh, I'm dead. No, this was one of those simple, I threw up a few times and then just walked out of the bathroom and it was like, oh my God, what the fuck had happened? Because that was more throwing up from the alcohol and not throwing up from the weed, but the weed still definitely helped me throw up that night. it helped cause it a lot quicker. And I know Kay, he ended up telling us the next day, he was like, yeah, I went back to my room and immediately threw up. And I know Will, he didn't end up throwing up until the morning. He woke up at like 6 a.m. and started pulling trig and throwing up in his bathroom, so his roommate had to hear that. Kenny threw up earlier in the night and he really slowed it down after that point, so he didn't throw up after that. But yeah, like as I said, we all got so sick because we were drinking so much that like we all ended up throwing up. So yeah, that's all this story is. It's just about the worst drinking game you can ever play. If someone ever asks you to play a drinking game and then you ask, yeah, what's the game? And they say do or drink, go in that with extreme caution because you will be fucked up no matter how much, like, okay, none of us are really veteran drinkers, but still, this game, if you're playing it with like people that are hardcore drinkers, you're going to get absolutely obliterated. Now that might sound fun to some of you. To me, we've only played this game twice, and the second time we played this, which will be another story down the line, we didn't even play by the rules because it fucked us up so much. Oh wait, hold up. Before I end this off, I want to point out one more thing. I kind of forgot about Butters in this story, because Butters, the whole time, after the game, he ended up pulling, we had this one fold-out chair, because we bought a fold-out chair too when we went and bought this table, to have more seats for everyone. So he was sitting in this fold-out chair, in like Kenny's closet, because there's no like closet doors or anything in front of the closet, that hides the clothes. So he was just kind of sitting in the closet next to Kenny's like a laundry basket and was just spouting random drunken nonsense, and it was beautiful. Anytime I needed to laugh, I would just kind of look over at him and he would just be like saying random shit, doing random shit. He was like on the floor at one point. He was just fucked out of his mind from all the beers he had drinking. I don't think he blacked out though. I do know he threw up because he almost always like throws up after a night of drinking like that. But it was just so funny to see Butters just absolutely obliterated on that chair, just spouting random nonsense. Like we just took him out of the game. He didn't even quit the game. I just skipped his turn and then no one really said anything. Everyone was like, yeah, that's fine. Because I was looking at him, I'm like, bro, he's already just absolutely fucked. I'm not letting him play anymore. So then we just like kind of cut him out and it worked out. But so yeah, that was it for this story, the do or drink story, the worst drinking game you can ever play. I will be having more episodes coming to you guys real soon. You guys should see another one of these episodes next week. With that, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.